When we experience our everyday lives, what often happens is that the experiencer of self is responding to the experience. And that's kind of the end of the story. There's the experiencer and there's the experience, and that's kind of all there is. But in that space, the experiencer of self doesn't have the opportunity to be acknowledged and honored for all that they are, and supported and expanding into their authentic essence of self, and holding space for the unconditional love and pure magic that they truly are, and having space to expand into a greater understanding of all different aspects of self from this expansion of awareness and this nourishment of specific internal attachment needs. And so when we allow for a journey of distinction and connection between aspects of self and components of experience through the inner realities from a lens of neuroscience, then we can actually create space, hold space for these parts of self to be all that they are in a way that they've maybe never encountered. And this actually gets to be felt somatically inside of the body in a way that actually reconstructs our DNA, rewrites the foundation of brain-body wiring, repatterns the cells of our body, so that the way that our consciousness flows through brain-body wiring can expand and support more of the unconditional love and pure magic of who we really are and how we are divinely designed to encounter the miracles of the human experience. In this journey, we can distinguish the awareness of self from the experiencer of self. And then we can start to differentiate different aspects of the inner experiencer in relation with those 15 things that we just talked about. The different elements of neuroscience, organization of body-mind navigational networks, and components of consciousness. And differentiate different parts of the self to really honor and acknowledge the essence of self and how they are encountering personal experience through body-mind miracles. Awareness of self from the experiencer of self, and then distinguishing different aspects of the inner experiencer from each other and allowing for there to be intimate connection, distinction and connection. And then once we have this expanded attunement with the self, then we can explore inner realities and personal experience through body-mind miracles. And then we can explore the wiring of the body-mind, the wiring of the brain and the body, and the projections of personal experience that are happening through that. And that's another distinction and connection, because that projection of thought is not the wiring of the body-mind. It's not the body-mind, it's a projection from the body-mind. But then there's wiring deeper in the body-mind. And so you might be aware of the personal experience, but you might not be aware of the details about the wiring that's causing that personal experience. So once we have this distinction and connection between the self, then we start to have distinction and connection between the experience and the brain-body wiring or the body-mind miracles that are simulating, projecting, or navigating, translating, interpreting, and then storing that personal experience. And we explore the relationship between all of these inner realities and aspects of self. From that space, we're able to deeply honor and acknowledge and validate and affirm and reunify and connect with and attune with and just create space for all these different aspects of self and all the body-mind miracles that are allowing the self to have a personal experience that is uniquely individualized for the beautiful being of you. And from that space, we can really understand our sense of self, our inner realities, and the details of personal experience, have opportunities to shift and transform anything that needs it, and to improve and expand beyond anything we've previously known. From that space, we also have a new chance to nourish the attachment needs at the foundation of all of it. Because the aspects of self who are within the body-mind navigating specific attachment needs are not the same aspects of self who can cultivate the fulfillment of those attachment needs. Through attachment development in early life, when an infant or a child or a toddler has something that they need, including attachment needs, they can't fulfill that for themselves. The adult parent or caregiver needs to come in and fulfill that for them. And the relationships between parts of our own self are like that. The relationships between aspects of ourselves are like that. There's a part of self that needs to feel seen and loved, but they need to feel seen and loved by someone. So they need to feel seen and loved by another aspect of self. There's a part of the self that needs to feel safe and secure. And so another aspect of self can come help fulfill that for that aspect of self. The self aspect with the attachment need cannot be the same aspect of self who fulfills that attachment need because of the relational connection between aspects of self, because of how the brain and the body developed through social engagement and attachment development. It's just an innate blueprint that's held in the body-mind where life is relational. And we need to have relationships between aspects of our own self so that we can fulfill these attachment needs for ourselves. But the aspect of self holding that need needs this other aspect of self to be like, hey, I'm here, and then have relation with those parts of self and create the fulfillment of those specific needs because of the structures of social engagement that create the foundation of brain-body wiring. And that's part of what we explore when we understand the neuroscience of the human experience through the trifecta treasure trove.